Yeah, I was saying, but you know, we
we
were just talking about shooting guards. So there's a couple shooting guards we want to talk about. Let's talk about Lavine, Beal, Booker. Rank them three. Jeremiah first. We'll go that way.
Beal, Bradley.
Just rank them first, and then we'll have
Bill,
discussion after.
don't
Don't go
why.
into detail. Just rank, and then we'll have discussion after.
Don't say why.
Beal, Bradley. Oh, that's tough, fam. That's
I
tough,
know, right?
you know.
I had to let it go, innit? Oh, say on it.
Sorry, bro.
I'd say.
I didn't even have one, you know. This nigga finished the move, bro. Yeah.
Is it done?
When there's a couple
in there, bro. You said you had none, no?
Oh no, I'm good. I don't want to.
Potential-wise, right now, I'd say.
Nigga, Lavine, Beal, Booker. I don't want to hear nothing.
Beal, Booker, Lavine.
Alright, cool.
Beal, Booker, Lavine.
Done.
Beal. This is my personal. I personally think Beal, Lavine, Booker. Personally.
Oh,
for me,
I'll show you my why. No, go on. I'll show you my why.
For me, I'm taking Beal, Booker, Lavine. I can't lie. For me personally, it's very tough. I can't lie.
That's so tight, fam.
I gotta go Booker, Lavine, Beal.
Alright, cool.
Wait.
It is. We're gonna
Everyone
let
has
you
to
go
give
last
their reasons
because
why.
your thing is mad controversial with it. So we're gonna let
That's
you go
very
last
controversial.
because that will make the most sense.
Give your reasons for yours.
I think.
Oh,
You gotta say first, innit? Beal, innit?
Are we allowed to if he says something, I'm allowed to? No, you're not.
Yeah, let him talk a bit, but like
Then
you can,
yeah,
but let him give his points in it. Just try to remember what you want to
Beal,
say.
fam, like Beal is just like he's just a crazy dynamic scorer. Like all of them are crazy dynamic scorers, but even how obviously you said how the ball because Levine's on a crap team, he's used more, but bro, Washington's in the pits of hell, fam. This guy is doing everything, fam. The guy's last year I think he dropped like 54 times. 60 as well, fam. The guy, he just does everything for that team, and he just because it's in Washington and the team is so crap. You don't get clout, fam. This is the first year he's got any recognition, so that's what I'm saying. Beal right now, fam. And who's my second pick? Did I say Booker? Yeah, that guy, fam. He's not a Kobe, but bro, the guy he's not a Kobe, fam, but bro, that is one of the most diverse scores I've seen since Kobe in that position, fam. Minus James Harden, fam. Because the guy, fam, he dropped fucking 70 on the Boston Celtics a couple years back, fam. Like, obviously because the Suns are crap and it's in the West, no one really gives him a clout. But Booker is is crazy, fam. Whether you're contesting him, whether you're giving him space, bro, the guy can knock down anything. He's a sniper. He's a sniper. You can give him the ball with 5 seconds on the clock. He's gonna get a bucket. A bucket. Like, he's just a crazy player in the clutch as well. And I think because of Chris Paul, he's just elevated his game to another level because he needed that leadership. He needed that guidance. So that's what I'm saying, because he's been on a naturally young team from young, bro. Like, he's never had anyone to really nurture him. No one to grow up. The coaches have been asked. Who was the last coach, fam? I can't even remember, fam. Monty Williams is the first coach that's been actually decent for him.
Worth his time.
Yeah, so that's why I think more and more the conversation is going to be built up to Booker. Booker can definitely get to those heights, especially with players like CP3. But I don't know how long CP3 is going to be his partner. Yeah. With Lavine now, since the T-Wars, I think he's been one of the coldest 2 guards. But it's not him, but it's his decision in teams to choose. Because I don't know why he chose. I don't know. Did he get traded to the?
He got traded to the Bulls. I don't think he went that.
Maybe I think he got traded.
But he had a chance to leave. But he said, "No, let me take another 2-year deal. I think, or a 3-year deal." Yeah. I just thought, "No, don't waste your time." I think the Kings wanted him at one point, but he just said, "No, let me take another deal with the Bulls." But with Lavine, bro, like, the guy's amazing. The guy, like, for someone so athletic, I don't really like.
He's mad refined.
Yeah, he's mad
We
refined.
don't care about he's athletic.
Yeah, like at first,
that doesn't define him,
bro.
That's
At first, for someone to come into the league and everybody's like, "Oh, this guy can dunk it." Like, I think he came from, was it Kansas or something? Or was it?
Something like that.
I think he came from one of those colleges, and like, what I knew him for was his crazy dunks and all that shit. But when I saw him, I was like, bro, this nigga can really shoot. Yeah. And from that point on, bro, his game is so refined now. Like, he's like in the 7th year now.
Like
he came in the same year as Wiggins. Wiggins was the highly touted, was the most scouted player. Wiggins was supposed to be the next LeBron and all that shit, fam. But I think he's definitely been the best player in that draft class by a mile, fam. He's just a crazy player, fam. But you, man?
I agree with you about Beal. For me, it's more like just a bit more experience. He's mad refined, and you see that when players get to that stage, it's like I actually can't be stopped.
Yeah.
But you see, like when people are like they get there, and like they go into overdrive a bit, he's still relatively composed in the way that he plays.
Yeah.
And considering your team's crap, it's very hard to stay composed and not just jack up a bunch of shit shots. Like it is hard, innit? So to play so well, so refined, so skilled, like bro, even. Like, fam, when I was playing, like, there's times when, bro, I used to just watch him. I just tried to get like, you see, like the little side step one I try to show you, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I
his
remember.
ball when he's bumping you, and he just said,
Yeah, I remember that one still.
he adds every move into his game,
He can do it all.
and he does it in like every other game. He'll pull out every different variation of a midi and a bump hit and all types of step backs and everything. And it's not like he's mad fluid and he's not predictable. Like, James Harden is unstoppable, but he does the same thing over and over again.
And you know what he's gonna do.
Bradley Beal is like he's mixing up everything. He's so refined and he's just great. Like, I don't know, he just amazing. The best shit. But, like, for me, I'm not saying that Booker is not crazy cold in that, but like because I put Lavine above him. But I feel like a lot of the time we give. Bear in mind, neither of them have had playoff success, so we can't talk about this works in the playoffs and this doesn't over there. We can only talk about regular season. They've both been on crap teams. Lavine has been let down by quote unquote better prospects, but obviously Devin Booker's never had any help. But it's like Lavine just is effective. Just does a job. You get like he just scores. Like his job is actually to score, and he just scores. He's learning to pass a bit more now. He's a bit more refined. He's sharing. He's playing more defense, buying into the team, whatever. But like Devin Booker has been getting so much credit for scoring like within like the mid-20s range, and we talk about the potential. Zach LaVine's been overlooked because he's just a dunker in that. But he's putting up damn near similar numbers, if not like, do you know what I mean? And just doing it, like just doing the job, bro. None of it's translating to wins. So for what I've been, obviously I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, so I'm definitely biased. But what I've seen is like, fam, he's tied Klay Thompson for 13 threes in a game. He's had like 11, 12, 10 threes in a game a couple times. Like Devin Booker had the crazy 70, but bro, he's had outbursts, bro. It's crazy. So I find it hard to rank them. I wouldn't even say, one's better than the other in that.
It's true.
But personally, I would just lean towards Lavine. Yeah, I would take Lavine.
Every answer is correct to you,
and
like, you get me?
Fam, you see, like Booker, we don't have to talk about him, man. He's just cold in it. Mad skilled, mad like he's got everything in his bag and that. Sometimes when I watch him, this is what pisses me off about him. It's like I feel like he's too content to just be good at basketball. Like he's not so much recently, because like the year, obviously last year with the bubble and all of that, he started to take. For time, I even said it to you at some point, like he's too content to just know that he's actually so skilled. So he's going to get like 20, 25 odd every game anyway. And then when it starts to flow and they don't double team as much, just go for 56. Yeah, like Lavine has been pissed that he's losing for years, bro. He's going after it for time. Like he's actually mad. Like you can see passion. And for me,
you can't really
maybe it's just because I'm used to seeing that, or that's the players I grew up on. But I like to see a man get vexed and just drop 30 on you. You're a dickhead. I'm putting 30 on your head. Booker, what he called PG a bitch like 2 weeks ago. Apart from that, man, ain't really heard much of him. He's just too, like, maybe he's composed, but it like, seems almost nonchalant and not caring.
Yeah, like he didn't want it as much.
And for me, that don't, like, I can respect your skill, and he's probably that touch more refined than Lavine. But Lavine's athleticism and speed and that, combined with the fact that he's actually definitely dumb skilled anyway, puts him ahead for me personally.
I hear it still.
For me, I said Beal, Booker, Lavine. For me, like I feel like my reason for Beal has been like similar to you lot's reason. It's just that like I feel like he can just do or add anything to his game, and like if me just watching them with just my eyes in general, like eye test or whatever, I feel like that Bradley Beal's just he's just the best. I feel like he's better than them in it. But obviously, Beal hasn't been in a situation where, none of them have really been in a situation where they've been close to winning. If anything, Devin Booker's close to it now. But Bradley Beal was at a point with John Wall where it was like that, but that wasn't when we saw him at his best in it. Yeah. He's kind of been put in the gutter now, like, and he's kind of showing us, I can do this in my sleep. Literally, I can do this in my sleep. In the games where he's even unbothered and he don't even rate his team or whatever, he's doing it. And that's why, obviously, like, let me just finish. Him and Lavine, in my opinion, obviously Lavine's team is doing better, but I feel like they're kind of in a similar situation where they've just been thrown in deep end. Both of their teams don't care. but Bill has got better numbers than Lavine, and to my eyes, he's more refined than Zach Lavine. And I feel like Zach Lavine's athleticism doesn't really matter to Bill. Like Bill can score on anyone regardless, innit? Okay, the reason why I put Booker second, but it's tough between him and Lavine because even though this season I could say Lavine it's pretty close for me for them two in it. But it's like Lavine, even though he's been good, this is a year for me where he's really standing out. I don't know if this is just him playing good for a while or if this is actually him. You get it?
Okay.
Like you get me? With Booker, I know this is him and he's been doing it. He's been kind of content doing it, but he wants to win or whatever. So he's not even on that same page of, okay, if you lot don't want it, I'm gonna score. He's been doing that, or even though it wasn't that much, he's more focused on how can our team get better now. He's not focused on, okay, I'm just gonna kill everyone. So like obviously they got Chris Paul and the coaching staff is starting to do things and other things. So I feel like the other two teams, they're not gonna make the playoffs. Devin Booker can actually do something important for a potentially good team this year. So I have to put him above Lavine. So my reason for Lavine was he hasn't been doing this for long enough, but at the same time, he's like out of all of them, like he's so raw. Like he's just like I can't believe he's scored 13 threes or like the way he's winning games or the way he's shooting from certain places. Like he's doing like things that are out of this world. But once again, I don't know if he's just on the wave like right now in his head, like F everyone, I'm gonna kill everyone, or if this is how he's gonna be for the foreseeable future. So until I see that, I'm not really gonna put him there. And that's my reason for my ranking in it.
That's one thing I say about Lavine. Man, ain't been watching him properly over the past years because he's always been that guy.
So I can't. But I was
Nah,
going.
but
I say, but let me give my points in it. Let me give my points in. Let me give my points in it. So obviously, cool. I said Booker, Lavine, Bill in it. Now to me, it's like it's very close. Like when I see Booker, Lavine, Bill.
I'll ask you a question.
Yeah, go on.
Are you ranking like partially based on potential?
I'm just talking about them. I'm talking about them right now. I'm talking about who I'm taking right now. So I say Booker, Lavine, Bill. Now, as I said, it's super close. I don't want no one thinking that I think like Bill's like a bum in it because I don't think that. Innit? I don't think that. But cool. So let me tell you why I think why I think my order. So first of all, Booker. What I'm gonna say about Booker is when I watch him, it feels like basketball is a game. It feels like it's obviously it is a game, but it feels like it's easy to him, bro.
He looks so content.
Like he looks like you man was saying stuff like, oh, he looks like he's not putting he's not. But I think it's because it's so easy for him that he doesn't need to do all that. Like, oh, I'm angry. Like, don't get me wrong. His team were terrible, and he was he was a good player on a really bad team, a really bad team. So I'd say the other two have had much better teams than him, and they've not done anything. And I can see him in his first year with a somewhat decent team doing something. And that's the reason why I'll put Booker first, because his whole career, as we said, he's not had anybody. Do you get me? Bill's had Wall. Bill had a pretty good team.
I don't think that version of
it's not
that version of Bradley Bill was
it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same in it. It's not it's not the same in it. I get that, but I'm just speaking from what I've seen in it.
To be fair, the other two are still young, so you can't.
That's true, but that's what I'm saying.
Bill's older, that's fair.
But that's another thing. These men have both been in the league longer than Booker, right?
Yeah.
Bill 100%. I'm not sure about Lavine.
Maybe I think Lavine came a year before.
I think Lavine came a year before.
So it's only like a year's difference.
So wait, so Bill when hold on,
Bill 2012, Lavine 2014, Booker 2015.
So Bill's been in the things for 3 years before Lavine in it, or before Booker.
And to be fair, Booker came in young. He was like 17 when he first came in the league.
That's impossible.
He came from college.
He came from college, but like he's one of them man where his birthday is bare late.
Yeah, but he was still. I think
he was still
in the
like
draft. He was 18.
He
played at 19.
So cool. So Bill had 3 years on Booker, and Lavine obviously had 1. So I don't know how much they spend in college. I can't be bothered to that.
I think they're
but cool. As I said, that's why I put Booker first. So I just think when I watch Booker, like it reminds me of like how, bruv, in secondary school, man, when I used to play my coach, when we used to play against 1-on-1 v Marvin, bro, and he would just he wouldn't try.
You don't think Bradley Beal's doing that?
I'll get there in it.
Okay.
And he wouldn't he wouldn't try. Like he would just do a jab step and just raise up. Or like a jab step, one dribble and just raise up. And it's simple. Like I just think it's so simple. And I think he's contributing way more to winning than Bill was. I get you can say that, the Suns are better and blah blah blah. But I think Bill can do more to win. In my honest opinion. I think Bill is just scoring. And the thing is, and the thing is, we speak about like, he's on a bad team and blah blah blah. But I don't think their team is as bad as their record is. I don't think it's as bad. That's what I'm saying though.
They've had a lot of tough losses.
And I feel like
you could argue that
you man ain't letting me. Let me, bruv. Get me. Cool. So fam, like with Bill, I feel like he can contribute a lot more to wins than he does, bruv. I've been watching games where Bill just stands in the corner like this, just upset, and is like, to me, bruv, I can't put you above other people if you're not putting everything. I get you're scoring, but I think that's all he's really doing. I don't think he's contributing to team wins. Do you get me? I think there's a way he could play. I think he could play in a certain way that contributes more to a win. But, that's obviously something we'll probably go into after I've finished my points. So secondly, I'm going to talk about Lavine. Now, the reason why I put Lavine second is because I've seen this guy's growth in it. And his growth has been crazy. When he was at the Timberwolves, all this nigga was doing was like, bruv, he could shoot, but it wasn't to the level he's shooting right now, bro. He was a slasher. He was an athletic slasher who could spot up for threes. He wasn't pulling up for threes. He wasn't dribbling around, man, and doing the mad thing. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't using pick and rolls. How he's using pick and rolls. Do you get me? He was doing a mad. Then he came to the Bulls. Obviously, he had to take on a bit more. And as we've seen him take on a bit more, I'm so sorry. His game is clear. His offensive game is stupid. It's stupid. When we're talking about, bruv, he can score from like anything. And I know all of these guys can. I'm not trying to deny that. But I think his type of game, especially recently, I think start of the season, I think he was trying to be a bit too dominant. But if you watch recently, he's been taking less shots. He's been playing more in the flow of the offense, and they've been winning. Mm-hmm. They've been winning more. Do you get me? Cool. And I think as a player, once you're able, like players that are able to clock those type of things and clock that, you know what? I can't just score. I can't do that. I can't just score because I'm not going to win. Yeah. That's not going to... I think players that do that, you have to put them a level above others. That's my opinion. Yeah. And that's why I put Lavine above Bill. Because I think in terms of game, I think Bill is probably the best out of the three. Yeah. But,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm saying.
The thing is, I feel like that's what we were kind of judging more, in my opinion.
Well, just game.
Like, who you taking for a game? Like,
so if we're talking just straight ballers.
Like, if you're putting one of them game against each other.
If you're putting one of them against one,
I don't like what Bradley Beal's mentality has been like either. I hate the way he was moving like, you lot and you know what?
But
I wasn't trying to use that.
Yeah.
So for me, that's how I feel like your
quickly,
argument is a little different.
Quickly, the only thing I'll say in response to that,
I'm basically done.
You see the thing about Bill and like the responding to guys thing, and like the kind of sulking and like if
sorry, bro. Sorry.
Even our bums, innit? YouTube B, because I get buckets. Anyway, you see, like with him, the only comparison I can think of in recent years before everyone kind of came into their own is James Harden. Because everyone knew that skill-wise, when John Wall went down, like, call it 17, he leveled up and his ability was like only really second to James Harden. Obviously, Clay's doing his matting and that, but in terms of they can handle the ball and get buckets. James Harden had shooters. Yeah. It might have been non-names, people you don't care about. Every single one of them can rain threes. Yeah. So if he puts you four around the perimeter, Clint Capella's catching lobs, and James Harden perfected that part. He couldn't pass that when he first came to the league, but he perfected it. Bradley Beal had Ish Smith, who's doing this mad thing to shoot his thing. Yeah. And these guys that are just like, he still had Martin Gortat until like 2 years ago or something, bro. Like, it's not, it's easy to tell someone to expand their game. Yeah. It's the same way that Westbrook was given credit because he didn't have the shooters and he was still doing the numbers that James Harden was doing. Do you get it? So I feel like that's as much as it goes against him, when your organization doesn't give you anything worth your time, there's that it is frustrating, isn't it? Especially it's very frustrating. And there's one point. Yeah, very quickly. Actually, no, add on to it, then I'll respond to what you were going to say earlier as well.
With Bradley Beal's life, his life has kind of been the opposite to Devin Booker, whereas they were like an organization that kind of cared, and his one has gone downhill. Whereas Booker's has kind of been going uphill. They care more and more. So now that you've seen Devin Booker like play where it looks like he's translating to winning, Bradley Beal was on the team like that when he was young, but now it's just getting worse as he's getting better. So
as he got better,
he's
his
getting
team's
more frustrated that
okay,
I'm so good and I've committed to this team, even though I felt like he should have left. Regardless. So even though he should have left, like now at this point, he's like, okay, I'm just good for no reason at all. And I'm not rating the fact that he's, once again, like I said, I'm not rating the fact that he's doing all this and doing that, like acting like this, but it's like, he probably feels like I'm at a certain point where I should be playing with a winning team in it. I'm not as young as Devin Booker. I'm not as young as Zach Lavine. I'm 28 or 29. I should be playing something better. And I made a decision for my family, and that shouldn't be the reason why the organization is not helping me. Like, why did you even trade for us? What was your reason? Why did you do that? You get me? So I feel like in terms of me picking a player just to play, in terms of skill set, I feel like he has the best one for me. And then with Lavine and Booker, only, like I said, you said Lavine was a slasher at first, and now he's coming to his own. I've seen Bradley Beal for like, I guess the last 3 years playing like this. So I'm like, okay, Bradley Beal's this guy. He's this guy for sure. Lavine, I told you, by the end of the season, maybe next year, I'll be like, I can't lie. If someone don't pick up Lavine right now, you're stupid. I'm already thinking that now, but it's only like if you were another team and you're picking a player to put as your shooting guard, I feel like who you picking up, you're gonna pick Bradley Beal, man.
See, this is why I was contesting the thing that you said about Lavine, because Lavine, like you said, came into the league as a slasher, we're just doing straight line drivers and dunking at everyone, catching, shooting. But he's been like, you see the way that everyone was down on Andrew Wiggins, everyone was so busy basically shitting on Andrew Wiggins, rightfully so.
But they didn't even realize that
they weren't actually giving due credit to what Zach Lavine was, because his game was developing year on year. Obviously, when you get more responsibility,
he's been on the upward trend the whole time.
You naturally step up anyway, so he's done way more at the ball.
That's why I just have to put him.
The point,
because I just what I've seen,
realizing that you can't just score.
The
reason I put him above Booker for that exact reason, he did it by himself, bro. Devin Booker has kind of been coasting because he's talented. Chris Paul, they brought him for him. So the organization did it for him.
You bought Chris Paul and they brought him.
Turned around and said, you know what? I'm really not doing enough because I've got players that I respect play. That story. I've got no space. And Kobe White's been balling, bro.
Even Laurie McCart, you get what I'm saying? Even Patrick White there. Patrick White. Not his name? Patrick Williams? Patrick Williams has
been playing well. Kobe White's been balling. Laurie Markin has been a letdown.
When the Carter Jr. picked up his game as well.
Bro, like...
Even Thaddeus Young's been looking good as well.
And it's like, and the thing is, everyone was getting onto him because he was arguing with his coach. But he said, "Bro, the coach is taking the piss.
Coach is terrible.
All the players said he's taking the piss." And the minute he got a decent coach, he said, "You know what? See, I showed you, man. I'm not a bum, and I'm happy to take a step back." But
I think talent-wise,
if everyone's happy,
I think talent-wise, in a couple of years, we might say he's the best.
Yeah,
I think
I agree. I agree.
I think Devin Booker has got more like natural feel for the game. Maybe
he makes it look the easiest.
But I'll be honest, we've been giving Devin Booker like credit for having natural feel for like 5 years, bro.
Like, and now you got we've seen this. Like, I'm not seeing nothing different from Devin Booker that you see in that 2018.
Zach Lavine doesn't have the offensive range that Booker has.
That's true.
And he's still putting up the same numbers, if not higher, bro.
He's moving crazy.
So
he's moving stupid. And
it's like it's like the argument between Harden and KD that happens. Like I've had with people. It's like KD's natural feel is superb.
It's the best I ever.
Harden's numbers are fucked. You know that, innit? They're not superb. They're not these wonderful words.
Averaging 35 at one point.
They're fucking crazy.
No matter what, no one scores easier than KD, and it's that simple. But
I think no one scores like Harden when he wants to.
I feel like we just got, once again, it's one of them ones we just got to keep watching what they're doing this year.
But this is why I said the thing about the playoff thing. Because Harden has won rings, because KD's won rings and that, you can say, oh, he's a better scorer than Harden, overturned, blah, blah, blah. But because if neither of them had any success, they all just gone to the second round and kept failing.
Yeah, then we would be saying
you'd be like, oh, yeah, we're saying KD's 7 foot, blah, blah, blah. But Harden's putting up 40 on everyone and their mum for bants, by the way. And still averaging 10 assists.
This argument is calm
so
because
I think it's easier to make
two teams are not probably going to go far in the playoffs. Chicago and Washington. Washington are definitely not going to playoffs. Yeah. But Devin Booker is the only one that could potentially make playoffs, but he'd probably get knocked out in the first round. Yeah. So because of that, it's easier because none of them are going to be playing the most important basketball in the league. Yeah. So we're going to be able to watch them like properly in it. Yeah. So I think even though you man's opinions kind of did make me respect Lavine a bit more, but I don't know if I'm going to put him above Booker. Yeah. Do you get me? For me, because of what Booker, he's playing important basketball. Like I'm gonna watch them more to see how he's gonna play winning basketball.
Yeah.
Zach Lavine, like yeah,
man.
Yeah,
So obviously, anyone else got something quick to say, or we just about to wrap it up in it? If you got anything to say on the topic, nah.
Still
Cool, man. Yeah. So, bruv, first episode wrapped up in it. Is what it is, man.
Next week, innit?
Man. Next week, catch you man back with another one, man.
say less.
If
Oh, did you press it already?